Hey everyone, Kim Levinsky here for the second update of the 2022 Tahoe 200 vlog. Coming to you after a really solid week of training. Today is Thursday, April 21st, 2022. Had to look there for a second. I am gearing up to hit the road tomorrow. I'm headed down to Virginia for the Promiseland 50K++. That's what it's called, down in Bedford, Virginia. And I'm super excited for it. Believe it or not, the last time I was signed up for an ultra marathon officially as a runner was the 2019 Labor Pains 12-hour event. It seems like a million years ago. Since then, I've just been doing self-supported run ventures. 2 of those were 100-milers, so I have been doing ultra marathons. But I haven't done a race in a really long time, so I'm feeling pretty jazzed about it. I'm excited about it. The prep today has been very fun, gathering gear and just getting ready to have a good time down there in Virginia. So quick recap on last week. First of all, I want to say that I am still getting messages, emails, direct messages through social media from people, comments on YouTube from the last video about I guess me just keeping it real and sharing my story of what's been going on with mental health and depression and all that. And if I talk about it a lot, I'm going to get emotional, but I just want to say thank you. And to everybody who's reached out, it's just really cool to hear people's stories. That's what's happening, is people are reaching out, saying thanks for sharing, and then they go and share their story. And it's just a really neat thing to share that space. And I guess that's what happens with a little bit of vulnerability, which is hard for me. But I'm glad that I shared the video. I sat on it for a day or two, and some encouragement from friends. They said to post it, and it could help 1 or 2 people, and it's ended up being a really good thing. So thank you for that, for reaching out if that was one of you. Anyway, okay. Recap on last week's training. It was a big week. I'm adding those miles, adding the vert. Finished with about 60, I think it was like 68 or 69 miles and 13,000 feet of gain and 13,000 feet of loss. So it was really solid. I feel good. I was definitely tired, coming into Monday with the rest day. But back at it, and it's been a pretty mellow week. I had these like grand plans, and then a couple friends who I've enlisted to serve as accountability partners with training said to dial it back a little bit. So dial it back going into this weekend. So that's what I did. So just got in a couple hours on Tuesday, easy trails. Yesterday, Wednesday, did a little plyo workout and a hike that was a few hours long. And then today, just mellow trails again, about an hour and a half or so. Tomorrow is Friday, so I'm getting on the road for Virginia. And I thought it'd be cool to share all the gear. So this has now been dialed in for a year and a half of preparing for Tahoe. So there have been like tweaks here and there, but I'm pretty much settled on what has been going into my pack. So I want to share it with you. I've tried to organize it a little bit. It still feels like a little chaotic, so sorry for you type A people. But we'll start with the hydration pack. I see a lot of people who have run Tahoe or are running Tahoe. They have this pack, and I got the recommendation from my friend Matt Klein, who did the Triple Crown last year. This is the Ultra Aspire Zygos. It's 14 liters, and I really like it. I've been using it the last year and a half, done a lot of self-supported efforts, 100-miler in it, and just been great. Pockets are awesome. Love the bungees back here to store your poles. Lots of pockets, and no big complaints from me. Probably the only thing is they had like a liner inside. It was like kind of like a foil liner, I'm assuming to help with insulation. That got ripped out. That didn't last too long. But overall, 2 thumbs up for the Zygos. So that's what I've been using pretty much for everything. And then as of the last few weeks, probably 3 or 4 weeks, I've been trying to do all my long efforts. I call it fully loaded. So the pack is loaded up. When it's fully loaded, it's about like 13, 14 pounds, which definitely feels heavy. So that's why I heard this advice last year during training, was to practice with the heavy load. And I think that's been really helpful to do. It was definitely helpful last year going into the 100 self-supported thing that I did, and I'm doing it again for Tahoe. So that is the pack, the Zygos. Poles. I've been using these Black Diamond Distance Carbon Zs for a few years now. Love them. Super lightweight. Again, they go into those bungees in the back, but usually I just keep them out the whole time with mountain stuff. And they've been really great. I just had to replace the rubber tips on the bottom. I had them for I guess probably 3 years now, and they finally wore down to the metal. So I got some new tips on there for the poles. Okay, in terms of hydration, that pack comes with a 2-liter bladder, so I've been using that. Fill that with water, and then in the front 2 pockets, I put these 20-ounce soft flasks in there, and I use these for electrolytes with Scratch. So what I've landed on doing with the helps of Dina Griffin, nutrition mechanic, bomb.com, is using a concentrated Scratch mix. So instead of trying to refill these and drink them every hour, what I've landed on is shooting for 2 to 3 hours and a concentrated mix of like 2 to 3 scoops per bottle. So that has worked really well. And I like these because they've got the straw, and I'm probably not the only one, but I get lazy. If it's just the little nozzle, I'm not going to drink it, but if it's got the straw, it makes it easier. So these are good. These are just knockoffs off Amazon, however you say that name. They've worked out really well. So those 2 bottles go into the front, and the 2-liter bladder is in the back. So that's the Scratch. And water situation, I always carry one of these reusable collapsible cups, go Sassquad trail running, and I just clip that to the back of my pack. And these are really handy, like if you're going in an aid station. I usually don't drink any other like beverages at the aid station, but what I found it to be most handy in is, especially in the summer when I'm getting really hot, use this when you come on to a river and you scoop the water, dump it on your head, give yourself a little river shower. That's been really helpful. But these are great. It could smash down, but I just clip it to the back of the pack. Oh, one other thing I forgot that I always keep in my pack, no matter what, no matter where I am, is the Be Free, the Katahdin, however you say that, filter bottle. And I just put that into the bottom zipper of the Zygos. And always keep this with me. You never know when you're going to need it or somebody else is going to need it. Love this because it packs down super small. And this system is you just scoop it in the river, whatever stream, put the cap on, and you're good to go. So another really great benefit of it, with it being half a liter, it does fit into the front pocket of the pack. But otherwise, what I'll usually end up doing is I fill it, and then I'll take the bladder out, open that up, and just squeeze the filtered water into the bladder or into the soft flask, and then I'll collapse this back down and put it in the pack. Or if it's like a self-supported thing where I know there's not going to be a ton of water, I will do all the filtering, the 2-liter bladder, the 2 soft flasks, and then keep this full as well and stick that in the back of the pack. So I wanted to also share that with you. Okay, next thing, let's go with the some gear here, kind of safety gear. All right, so I always keep this in there. This is a Life Bivy. Got it off of, I think maybe at REI or Amazon. And I think maybe Destination Trail gives them out. I can't remember if they did that when I was volunteering last year. But it's an emergency bivy, weighs barely anything, takes up very little space. And you never know. It's always good to have in the pack. That's required for the gear with Tahoe, so that's in there. And then I've had really good luck with these dry bags. So that's how I organize the gear in the Zygos pack. So I use this 1 liter. This is Sea to Summit. You can get it at REI. I've seen it on Amazon too. And this is what I put some electronics and other random stuff. So in this bag, I keep a rechargeable, the external battery pack. So that goes in there. An iPhone charger for keeping that phone going. I have my Garmin InReach Mini, which I don't think I'll have that for Tahoe because they give you the spot tracker, but I always keep this in my pack no matter what, no matter where I'm going. You never know. It's worth the $10-15 a month and the $30-40 a year for the insurance SOS. So anyway, that's my plug for safety. InReach Mini, that goes in there. I've got a charging cable for that, even though it lasts a very long time. And then I've got a Junker headlamp cheap guy, just in case. That's a backup. I've got AAA batteries for my headlamp, for that junker, and then the one that I will use in addition to the Kogala. So usually, like mountain stuff, I'll throw this on my head as well, just to give some directional light. It's just a cheap, I think it was like $30-40 at Sierra Trading Post. It's a black diamond. That goes in there. And what else? I think that's about it. Oh, no. I got my little med kit here. You can see it's been through the ringer. I guess I should maybe update the Ziploc. I've had this for a few years. But in here I got a little med kit going. So Band-Aids, gauze, Neosporin. I've got some like bee sting stuff in there. Some anti-chafe emergency. I forgot I had this in there. Cash. You never know when you need that. I've got a tampon in there. You never know when you need that. Lip balm. And then also one of these cheapos, the emergency blanket, because again, you never know. Also in this first aid kit, I do have a little foot care kit. It's kind of like a break in case of emergency, because the other foot care kit I'll tell you about in a second. But in here I've got some strips of KT tape and I never know how you say it, compound benzoin tincture that you will use before you put on the KT tape to give it a strong adhesive. So I've got that in there, and then also this little container has some anti-diarrhea Tums in there, and I think I've got some ginger chews in there as well to help if there's like little upset stomach or something like that, nausea. And something I also threw in there, I've used it one time and it didn't really work well, but I am still hopeful that it could come in handy. Rain poncho. Again, these things are all like super lightweight. They don't weigh anything, so it's worth throwing in. So that also goes into the 1 liter bag. And yeah, that's in that bag. So next up will be what I keep in some outside pockets. I love my GoPro. It's really fun. It's definitely coming to Tahoe with me. So GoPro goes in the bag. I've got baby wipes, because you can always use baby wipes. I've got some anti-chafe stuff. I've landed right now. I really like the Salty Britches. That's worked pretty well for me. The only downside with this guy is that in the winter, it's like very hard to squeeze out of the tube because it gets hard. But it's worked well. We're going into summer. I'll probably stick with that. And then I do have a foot care kit, which maybe I'll do a separate video on this, because this is a new thing that I'm trialing. I learned this from the Women's 100 Miler Facebook group. Amazing group. If you're a lady, check that out. It's so supportive. I've learned so much from the group, just tips and stuff. And this was one of them, was this foot care kit. So I'll do a separate video on that. I'm going to trial it actually this weekend at the Promiseland. But in here this will be a little teaser, okay? There's hand sanitizer, there's baby wipes, and then this like secret sauce anti-chafe stuff, which I think, where do I have? I got the tub somewhere. It's called Musher's Secret. I don't know where it went, but it's I bought a big old tub of it. It's actually used for like dog paws, I think. That's like the intention of the cream, but a lot of ultra runners apparently have had very good success with it, using it on their feet, and then also as anti-chafe solution. So maybe I've piqued your interest with this. I'll do another video that is the whole overview of their foot care strategy. It's pretty interesting, and I'm excited to try it out at the race this weekend. Real quick overview. They suggest with this foot care kit, when you get into an aid station, this is supposed to help with like trench foot if it's really wet, but the long stuff as well to keep your feet nice and happy. You get to the aid station, take off your shoes, take off your socks, use the baby wipe, clean them off, and then you put on some of this hand sanitizer, Antivac, in the gel form. It has to be gel. And that is supposed to like dry out your foot and suck that moisture out. And then you apply that Musher's Secret. I guess I just gave the whole spiel, but I'm going to try that this weekend. My friend Jess Sameo, who's an adventure buddy, she had really good success with it a couple weeks ago in a self-supported ultra that she did. So I'm excited to try that. Anyway, next thing's up, lighting system. So I use the Kogala. It's like the Mack truck lighting system. It's so bright. This has been really great. Matt Klein turned me on to it. So this is the lighting system. I have the battery pack that came with it, but little secret that I learned from Matt, you can purchase one off of Amazon that's a lot cheaper and works just as well. So you don't have to go through Kogalla to get another battery pack. So I'm not using this weekend. We're going to have a little bit of darkness. The race starts at 5:30, so I'm just going to use a little headlamp, but just wanted to show you that. That's the Kogalla light system. What else in those pockets? Chapstick. You never know when you're going to need chapstick. And then the trowel, right? You guys who you've been reading in the Tahoe manual, there's like so much information about where you can go to the bathroom and the protocol. So I threw this in there. It weighs 0.45 ounces, so nothing. And it's called the Deuce. The Deuce. So if you gotta go, you gotta go. Leave no trace, dig a hole. That's in the pack. And then the other dry bag that I have is also Sea to Summit. This is 2 liters in size, so this is where I keep the extra clothing. So to keep it dry, in this bag I have gloves. Landed on these Boko. I really should try to find more of them because they're so great. They're the convertible Boko gloves, fingers, and then you can turn it into mittens. So those gloves work well. I have a lightweight Smart Wool beanie. That goes into that bag as well. Extra pair of socks. You never know. Rain pants and rain jacket. Got these rain pants. These are like no name brand off of Amazon. I tried a whole bunch of name brands. I couldn't find one that I liked, and they were crazy expensive. So these work well. I don't know what they're called. I can look them up and link them for you, but they've worked really well. And then the jacket is an outdoor research rain jacket that does pretty well. So those all go into the bag. And then I also have a lightweight Smart Wool windbreaker that I love. And I just found out you can pack it into this pocket. I know you're probably watching this saying, duh, Kim, that's what you can do. But, you learn something new every day. So this packs down really nice. And all that goes into this, again, Sea to Summit 2-liter dry bag. And I swear it does work because I had so many monsoon runs last year. If you've seen some of the videos, I can testify that this works well. Okay, so that is everything that goes into my pack, I believe. I'm just looking at all the stuff. That is it for the stuff that goes in the pack. And then I'll show you gear stuff that I've landed on with wearing. These are a pair of Hoka Speedgoats that are on their last leg. I need to find some more. If you're a Hoka diehard, you know that the Speedgoat 3s are the best that they made, and you're probably just as heartbroken as I am about the 5s that just came out because they are, they're just not the same. So Speedgoat 3s, they've worked really well for me. Gaiters, Sassquad gaiters, those are fun. Sorry, they're really dirty. I've got to clean those out. But I use gaiters. And then I can show you what I'm wearing this weekend for gear. Got the Sassquad. I know this is like an advertisement for Sassquad, but shameless plug. It's a dry fit hat, works well. Buff, Sassquad Trail Magic buff. I wear Smart Wool. I love Smart Wool, if you couldn't tell. Smart Wool Sports Bra, they've been great. I'm going to go with a tank top this weekend, just a dry fit tank top, because it's supposed to be about 85. And then these shorts. Okay, so I was on a shorts quest last year. I had issues with chafing, and I couldn't find a pair of shorts that I really loved until, again, a no-name brand off of Amazon. I'll have to find the name for you guys, but I love these because they got the spandex shorts in them, and then they're not like super short booty shorts. So those are fine for other people, not for me, but these have worked out great. I think they're about like a 5 or 6 inch inseam, so those have worked really well. And then socks, I always forget the name of them, but Balegas. So I go with the Balega Trail, they're inside out, crew socks, and they've worked really well the last couple of years. So that's gear. I do want to give a plug for REI because it's always worth a trip up to their little garage sale upstairs. I just scored this jacket today. I was so pumped about it. This is another item I've been on a quest for, to find a packable puffy jacket because they're so dang expensive. And they were selling this one. It's a Patagonia Nano Puff hoodie. And I think it retails for like $250. It was marked down to like $100 because it has like this teeny tiny little rip in it. So I was really excited about that. So this was something I still hadn't landed on as a puffy jacket. I heard really good things about the Nano Puffy. So I'm looking forward to. I don't really want to use it at Tahoe, but you gotta have a puffy jacket because it can get cold. So that's going to be good, and I already trialed that it does pack down super well into the pocket, so that's really cool. Okay, other stuff. I can chat briefly about some nutrition. That's probably another video to do, but at least for this race, this is my plan. So I'm going to bring some of my own nutrition, and then I really want to practice using the aid station because, again, I haven't been in a race in a really long time, so I'm excited to try getting back into the aid station. And as a race director, it's really fun to like check out this, the spread and get some ideas and swap stories and stuff. So I'll share a few things that they're like go-tos for me. Pro bars, really great. A lot of calories in them, so you split them in half. That's kind of like 2 items. And then love Bobo bars, really good. I don't really care the flavor. Bobo bars have been great. And then in that same line, Bobo Bites, they're just like a smaller version. Lara bars have worked really well. A lot of bars going on. I won't bring this with me, but like trail mix. And I think that's probably it for what's in the bin. But I'm going to pack, Dina was helping me with this, probably maybe like 5 or 6 of those items, and then try to rely on the aid station for the rest of the nutrition. So that's kind of like a very, very brief dive into nutrition. Maybe I'll pack a couple of gels. I like the spring gels. Really, the only 2 flavors I like are the Speed Nut, no caffeine, and the Awesome Sauce, which I think everybody likes those. Awesome Sauce. Those taste good. So I'll probably throw a few of those into my bag as well. And then electrolytes, Scratch, definitely bring in Scratch. Huge fan of Scratch. I really like the lemon lime flavor. A little bit of the strawberry lemonade, but mostly the lemon lime is what I like. And the last little nutrition item that I keep in my bag at all times is, surprisingly, maybe, it's a keto brick. I just learned about these a few months ago, and it's literally 1,000 calories in this brick. So this is, again, I call it, probably it's in the safety category. Break in case of emergency. You're out there in the mountains, something goes wrong, you've got 1,000 calories packed down into a little brick. I haven't tried it yet. Actually, my friend Robin and I are planning on trying one of the bricks. We bought one to try. No idea what it tastes like. I know I won't call it like a cult, but people like really like these keto bricks online. So anyway, I think it's probably, it's a cool thing to keep in your pack. You never know when you're going to need it. So 1,000 calories, that is always in my pack at all times. And the shelf life too. You're probably wondering, like, you keep it in there that long? I think it's got like a few years shelf life. I'm not sure. I have to check the fine print of it, but that is always in my bag. And I think that's about it in terms of gear. I mean, obviously with Tahoe, there's going to be a lot more, or not a lot more, but a couple more clothing items, like a long sleeve. I'll bring probably some long tights, maybe capris for the cooler weather. But that's pretty much it. Just making sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, so that's kind of the overview. A little bit of, give you a little insight into the gear that I've been using the last year and a half and plan on using for Tahoe 200. So I'm excited about it. I'll do another video after this weekend, do a little recap of the race. I'm excited to get out there. The plan is to do the event on Saturday. It's actually closer to 34 miles. A lot of climbing. There's about 8,000 feet of gain on these trails. And I'm excited for these trails because I've been told that they're not as rugged and technical as the stuff we've got up here in northern New Jersey and New York around the Hudson Highlands, where I do a lot of training. So I am excited for not the breakneck trails that I'm used to running on, to get a little bit more movement. And I've been told that they're a lot similar to like West Coast trails. Obviously not the same. There's no altitude. But in terms of like East Coast, it does do a fair bit of climbing. I think it hops up to like 4,000 feet, which I know is like nothing compared to out west. But I'm excited about it. It's going to be cool. I got some friends going down. I'm excited to just jump back into the racing. As a race director, I don't race a ton because it's so busy with Sassquad. We've got about one race every month. But it's pretty cool. So I'm going to do the race on Saturday, 34 miles, 8,000 feet climbing. And then I'm going to play it by ear if I'm going to stay overnight and do one more day of training in Virginia, or just drive back north and get a long run in for the back-to-back on Sunday. So we'll see. That's to be determined. So I'm excited about it. All right, I'll come back to you next week with a video update of how the event went. And then I think in the future, kind of like teased it a little bit, but I think it'd be cool to do a little foot care video, and then maybe a separate video for nutrition as well. And that's about it. Okay, thanks so much, and we'll catch you on the next update.